Our next photographer is Ruben Natal-San Miguel, an incredibly interesting, varied artist, because he's an architect and a fine art photographer and a curator and a creative director and a critic. So, allowing kind of various aspect of seeing the world and registering the world and documenting the world to play out through his work. He holds numerous awards in different mediums and collaborations with, for example, photo icons such as Magnum photographer Susan Meisel's, and multiple gallery shows in galleries such as Asia Gaisberg and Rush Arts and Chris Grove's projects and Fuchs projects. His work has been featured in numerous institutions as well: New York Public Library, the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, Griffin Museum of Photography, Print Art Center, the Makeshift Museum in Los Angeles, University of Washington, El Museo del Barrio, many other museums. I know that there's a show, or his work will be included in a show coming up recently. Perhaps, Ruben, you'll talk about that. He has been presented in various international art fairs and featured in publications. And the work is kind of involves, there's a lot of what you document, Ruben, is people and people within cities in particular, and such is the case with this present work that you are contributing to the auction, Three Muslim Girls, Sundown 2019, the Bronx, New York City. It's interesting because the work is done before 2020, before the pandemic, and it really presents the city in its colorful nature, in its variety, in its past and its present. And I wanted to talk about your perspective on why you wanted this image to be captured, what it represents, what it stands for. How did you see it? How did it play out? How did the three girls come across your path? Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here.
Hi, good morning, everyone. The image came about me being obsessed with the Jerome subway street station. It was featured in a small video on News Channel 4. Darlene Rodriguez was sort of like promoting the Bronx. And I saw her standing there. I'm like, oh my God, I really got to go there. So I went. And I sat on the steps and I waited for someone to come down that really evoked me, moved me. And these three girls came out of nowhere, and they stood there for 1 second, and there's the photo.
Wow. So it wasn't even posed. It was just, this is what.
No, I don't post my work. I don't post my work. And I like to go to mostly marginalized communities in the city to see how they practice their quiet activism and how people interact with each other within a community from all walks of life. Mm-hmm. And it's really what the true essence of New York really is right now, because Manhattan is just a Sex and the City bubble, and when you go out there, you really see what life New York has always been about, New York City has always been about. So for me, it's very important to bring that back and try to put it in the art marketplace and in the, non-for-profit and gallery system and museums, because it's still going, yet some people had rejections about it, and I'm sure now with all the revolts and everything is going to be embraced, but I have been doing this work for 17 years. I'm a self-taught photographer, and I took it upon myself after surviving 9/11 to start photographing after moving to Harlem, start seeing a new world. So
yeah, and I mean, it's incredible that these girls create such a composition with these two flower dresses, full outfits, and then the black one in the middle. Mm-hmm. And then they contrast with the yellow tones of the background, and, the American flag right there in the center. I mean, it's there's so much to this image that really, there's so much to the story, to this one moment in time, and yet it tells a very broad, very large picture about this country, the city, the New York City in particular, the moment in time. So I just wondered, I mean, I know you've been photographing during the pandemic. I know you've been going out, as you always have, on the streets and really capturing the way that the city is. I know that you said in our earlier conversation, you're not photographing people with masks anymore. Right? You want to sort of like move beyond that. Well, why did you pick this particular image rather than something you've done more recently?
Because this image, the minute I took it, I thought immediately about women, and I thought Her Justice is an organization committed to women, and I really immediately thought that a week after I took the photo, the Mee Museum asked me to, be included in their permanent collection.
Oh, wow.
And then the St. Louis Museum also is in progress right now, and the Museum of the City of New York. So, once I sold a few and it goes into museums, for me, it's like, okay, it's back to the people.
Yeah.
So, that's the way I kind of, organize and structure my own personal career, because the images are coming from the people and eventually they got to go back to the people. So once it's, I also thought that at that particular moment, it was taken on October 13, 2019. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of xenophobia and homophobia coming from all places. And it was a gift from God. It just happened to be there, and I happened to be at the right time. I sat there for 45 minutes. These girls came down the steps, and I was very emotional. No, it was very emotional for me, especially the way, a museum curator immediately wanted it for a collection, and and then I sold a few, and then another person paid $1,000 for a 10 by 10 inches. So I'd say, okay, we got something going here. So let me give a very big one to Her Justice. So you guys got the largest one. That's
nice. Okay.
Yeah, the largest one ever. Even at my show, it's at Postmasters Gallery right now on the show Women Are Beautiful. I did a whole show 50 years later after Gary Winogrand's series and interpretation with more inclusivity, and that image is part of the show as well.
Yeah. And the final question is your involvement with Her Justice. How did you get involved, and how long have you been working with them?
I don't remember who found me, but I think someone emailed me, and I just, again, once images that I have go through the system and they go to auctions and they go to institutions, I just donate, because it's got to go back to the people, and I really want to insert more images of diversity and inclusiveness in the marketplace. I think that they need to be seen and shown, and that's my commitment to photography. That's what I like to do.
Yeah. And what do you like about Her Justice in terms of the work that they do?
Well, I mean, I love the fact that they really deal with immigration issues for women, immigration, women who have suffered, spousal abuse, and et cetera, et cetera. I mean, anything. I'm a feminist. If anyone has a chance to see my show at Postmasters, I put the link in the comments. It's up to 11. You could really see why I'm doing this.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.